Hi everyone, it's Grandpa here. Two things to take care of before we start today's story. First of all, these stories are for kids, not for grown-ups. If you're a grown-up and you want to listen along, that's fine. But remember, the stories are for kids. And kids, if you don't want your grown-ups there in the room with you, just ask them to leave if that's okay with them. Second of all, after the story is done, you see down below on your screen there's a little thumb pointing up. Click that upward pointing thumb to show that you like the story. You can do that. That'll really help me get more stories out there. And then, of course, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, then get your mom or your dad to help you subscribe to the channel. That way, every time a new story comes out, you automatically get told, hey, there's a new story to listen to. Okay, have a great day. Here we go with the story. Hi, this is Grandpa. We got a story today about why bananas have spots. Now, when you buy your bananas at the store, they're usually green or yellow. And then as they sit in your house, they get spots. And this is a story about why bananas get spots. It all starts with the Rajipaji Indians a long time ago. They lived in a wonderful land called Rajipaji land. No surprise, right? Rajipaji Indians live in Rajipaji land. Anyway, Rajipaji land is a beautiful country. It is full of fruits, many different plants and birds, and it's sunny, and they got nice beaches. It's always warm. There are no bugs, no dangerous animals, just all kinds of vegetables and many more kinds of fruits growing in the wild. And it all just grows by itself. And on the land, on this island, live the Rajipaji Indians. And the Rajipaji Indians, or the Rajipaji people, are in good harmony with all the forest. So they're in sync, in communication with the trees and the plants. They are like one community. The plants, the trees, and the Rajipaji people. Well, on the Rajipaji land, bananas grow, along with mangoes and many other kinds of fruits. Well, one day, a long, long time ago, people from Germany discovered Rajipaji land, and they found the fruits. And everybody knows, today, Germans love bananas. I think Germans eat more bananas than any other country in the world. So here's a story about why bananas have spots. So a long time ago, the German people came with their sailing ships and their bows and arrows. It was before guns, so the bows and arrows and their spears to Rajipaji land. They came there, they found it, they'd heard about it, they knew there were wonderful fruits there and bananas. German people go bananas over bananas. They like bananas. So they sent a special mission there to get bananas. Now, what happened is, the Rajipaji people didn't really like the big ships coming and these people coming from a faraway land with their white skin and taking their food. In fact, because the Rajipajis were sort of in community with their food and with their fruits and with their trees, that was not at all a good thing. But the sailors came off the boat, they came on, they wanted to take the bananas, and there was a problem. They took so many bananas that it really hurt the trees, it hurt the people's feelings, it gave them less food for the year ahead. But the Germans took the bananas, sailed back to Germany. The Rajipaji people decided they needed to do something because they knew these people would come back again in the next season when the bananas had run out in Germany to pick up more. They didn't have guns, they didn't have bows and arrows, they were not a fighting people, and so they got a meeting together. The chief of all the trees, the chief of all the people, the chief of the medicine, and the chief of the science. All the chiefs came together and had a meeting. What are we going to do? They said. Well, they talked for a day and another day and another day. And then they decided what we need to do is involve the plants. So they brought the chief of the plants and some of the key trees to the meeting. Well, they didn't bring the trees to the meeting. They had the meeting where the big old trees were. And then they had what they call a brainstorm session. Thunder, lightning, brainstorm. Thinking, what can they do? after many hours, and some communication with the trees. We don't talk about how that works. We don't understand it. After many hours, they came to the conclusion that the trees might come up with a solution. So they left the trees to think for a week. Then they had another meeting. And at the meeting was a mango tree, the banana tree, and some other bushes. The chief of all this and the chief of all that, all the chiefs and everybody were together. And the banana tree explained the solution. They said, look, when people come to take our fruit from far away, they have to take it when it's green, because otherwise it will go dead before it gets home by sailing boat. So what we can do is we can change our skin so that when the fruit gets older, it doesn't just turn yellow and stay yellow, but little spots will appear. And in the spots, we can plant special mind-changing, influencing bugs, little bugs that will hatch out of the skin. And then at the nighttime, when the bananas are ripe, at the nighttime, the bugs will fly out of the skin when the spots are there, and the spots are big enough, and then they'll fly into the ear of the people nearby and tell them good things that we want people to know. Oh, said the chiefs. Oh, so you're going to change your skin. So when you get older, spots will appear, and the spots won't appear until the bananas get onto the ship or back to Germany or wherever they're going. And then the little bugs will come out of the spots at the night, fly into the people's ears and give them a message that we want the bugs to give. Is that right? Yes, said all the trees. Yes, that's it. Oh, said the chiefs. Good idea. So the bananas and the chief medicine man got to work making a secret potion so that the banana skins would grow spots. And they made it so that the banana skins would grow spots pretty quickly. Because what they wanted to do was when the people come to steal the green bananas or the yellow bananas, not long after they steal them and they put them on their boat, in the 2 weeks it took to sail back to their home country, the bananas would grow spots, the bugs would come out, and they could give the secret message to the people on the ship. And so they talked about what the secret message should be, and the problem now was that these people came with swords and spears, and they stole the bananas, and there was a fight, and it was just not good. And so what they wanted to do was have the bugs tell the sailors not to steal the bananas, not to bring their swords, their spears, their bows and arrows, but instead to bring special jewels, gifts, special things from the country from where they came, and to be nice to the Rajipaji people, because the Rajipaji people were taking care of the plants, and if no one took care of the plants, then the fruits and vegetables wouldn't grow like they did. Okay, so the chief scientist, the chief plant person, the chief of this and the chief of that all got together, worked with the banana tree to help it change the skin so that it would grow spots pretty quickly after it got taken off the tree. The next time the people came by boat to take the bananas, it was again fighting, and they came with their swords and their bows and arrows, and choom, choom, get out of the way, we're taking the bananas. They hacked out a bunch of bananas and took them back. But this time, the bananas started to grow spots. Already 5 days after they left, they were still not only halfway back to Germany with their boats loaded with bananas, and these things came out of the skin in the nighttime, out of the spots of the bananas, these little messenger bugs flying around. Hundreds of them, well, actually millions, because there were so many bananas on the boat. Millions of these little bugs flying around on the boat, going into the ears of everybody on the ship when they were sleeping. When people sleep, almost always their ears are open to the air, and so these little bugs would just come into the ear and whisper secret messages in. And the secret messages had to do with how to take the bananas from the Rajapajis, instead of coming with swords and bows and arrows, to come with gifts and special things that would help the Rajapajis and that would be friendly and not mean. And do you know what? The next time when they went back to the Rajapaji Island to get bananas, they knew something was with the bananas and there were spots. They needed more. The bananas actually tasted good when they had spots. They got sweeter. They got a little softer. People liked the bananas when they had some spots on them. And so somewhere along the way, they also learned from the little bugs that they never even knew about that they should bring a special gift back to the Rajapaji people. So the next time they came, boats were filled with gifts, special things from Germany. Some chocolates, some pretzels, some other things that people eat in Germany, that people have in Germany, that the Rajapaji people never saw. Instead of coming off their boat with bows and arrows and spears, they came off their boat with special things for the Rajapaji people. And the Rajapaji people helped the German people cut down the bananas, load them carefully on the ship, give them instructions how to care for the bananas so they would last longer and taste better. And that's why the banana has spots. You see, before that, bananas never got spots. They just went from green to yellow, and then people ate them. But now when you go to the store, it doesn't matter what store you go to, the bananas you buy will get spots. And the question you have, of course, is, do bugs come out of the spots? Are the bananas good to eat when they have spots? The answer to that is no, bugs don't come out of the spots anymore. The skin's changed, yes, but that was a long time ago. The bugs came out, yes, but they don't come out anymore. Are they good to eat when they have spots? In fact, the bananas are sweeter and softer when they have spots than when they don't. Next time you see a banana with spots, think about that. Good night.